football fans. We are ready for NFL picks for week number 6 in the league where they play for pay. Great to be back with you. The best audience in all of YouTube is right here. I had a spectacular 13-3 week last week, 38-10 the last 3 weeks, 58-23 overall. Show some love. We're starting to cook now. We're starting to get a feel for what's going on. Let's keep it going. Week number 6, pick number 1. Let's go down to South Beach. Miami, with the Miami Dolphins on -3 against the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are up to 4-1. They are in first place. Beat Chicago. Vikings had a huge lead in this game. They're up 21-3. They let it slip away, but then they come rallying back and they make the big strip at the end to seal the deal. Vikings up to 4-1. They have won 3 games in a row. Then you got the Dolphins. Oh, it's all crashed on the Dolphins the last couple of weeks. They're down to 3-2. Just got bamboozled by the Jets in the Meadowlands. Tua out. Bridgewater goes out. They have to play the third-string quarterback, Thompson. Forget about it. And the Dolphins go down in flames. I think Bridgewater will play this week, but the Dolphins, after doing so many things right the first 3 weeks, have been really hit by the injury bug, especially at quarterback, and they've lost a couple games in a row. So Miami is at home, -3 against the Vikings down in South Florida. I'm going to move the line to 9 and take the Vikings. I mean, with Bridgewater at quarterback, I can't see Miami being that explosive. The Vikings have won 3 in a row. I think they'll play better here than the last time they went on the road in Philadelphia when they were absolutely atrocious. I think the Vikings will play better here. I think this is a close game. If I can get the Vikings with 9 points, I feel very comfortable going that way. Vikings, pick number 1 down in South Beach. Pick number 2. Let's go to Indianapolis, Indiana, where the Indianapolis Colts are -2.5 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Colts are up to 2-1. They beat Denver on Thursday Night Football. They make the big stand at the end in overtime. Jacksonville, they're down to 2-3. I was really disappointed with them. They lost to the Texans 13-6 at home. They had no points in the second half, couldn't get in the end zone. Lawrence had 2 picks. They outgained the Texans 422-248, yet lost the game 13-6. You have 422 yards of total offense. You only score 6 points at home. Oh, I was so disappointed in Jacksonville. That was one of the few games I got wrong last week. Very disappointed in their offensive output in that game, especially with the coach's reputation. He's supposed to be this offensive guru. 6 points at home to the Texans, and now Jacksonville has lost 9 straight games to the Texans. Come on now. As far as this particular game, the Colts at home -2.5 against Jacksonville. I'm going to move it to 8.5 and take Jacksonville. I mean, the Colts don't blow anyone out. They don't score a lot of points. I think this is going to be a very, very close division game. So I'm moving it to 8.5, and I'm taking the Jaguars. The Jaguars got to start playing, mistake-free football, though. They turned the ball over a lot the last few weeks. I think they'll play a little better here. I'll move it to 8.5. Close game, low-scoring game. Jags, pick number 2. Pick number 3, let's go to the dog pound in Cleveland, where the Cleveland Browns are -3 against the New England Patriots. Browns down to 2-3, lost to the Chargers, miss a field goal at the end. I tell you, the Browns are in some wacky games. They are in some wacky games. In the last 3 weeks, it's gone against them. I mean, they have that awful collapse against the Jets. Then Brissett throws the pick against Atlanta when they're trying to get in field goal range. And now here they miss a field goal, to potentially win the game. All of a sudden, Cleveland's lost 3 in a row. They're down to 2-3. Deshaun Watson, I hear, is back at the facility, but he won't be ready to go for a while because of his suspension. New England, they're up to 2-3. They just beat up Detroit. Shut out Detroit. I mean, they just hammered him in every aspect of the game. I mean, the running back was awesome, Stevenson. He had 161 yards rushing. Zappy, the third-string quarterback, played well. New England just crushed Detroit. And that was the difference between a Hall of Fame coach, Belichick, and Campbell, the coach of the Lions, who I think is shaky at best. You saw the difference. You saw what good coaching can do. I mean, the Patriots just smacked the Lions around in that game. So the Patriots, like I said, up to 2-3. Cleveland at home -3.5 against New England. Listen, this is another one of these 3-point games. Low scoring. You don't know who's going to win. Coming right down to the end. New England has shown me enough the last few weeks that I'm going to take them here plus 9.5 in Cleveland. I think New England can win this game outright. So I absolutely love them with 9.5 in a 2-team teaser. They've shown me enough even with the third-string quarterback. They've gotten that running game going. The defense has been playing a little better. New England should be able to hang in this game, if not win this game in the dog pound. New England plus 9.5 is pick number 3. By the way, we have 4 teams on a bye this week. The byes start this week. Tennessee is on a bye. They're up to 3-2. Held on to beat Washington. Las Vegas, they're down to 1-4. Lost to Kansas City in another heartbreaking game. Vegas has lost 4 heartbreaking games this year. No idea why they went for 2, down 30-29. I think teams are getting way too cute with that, with the 2-point conversion. I would have kicked the extra point, tied the game. As it turns out, they lost 30-29. I think teams are getting too cute. I know the analytics people love it. I know the offensive people love it. I know Carl wanted to go for it. I understand all that. I didn't like it personally. Raiders down to 1-4. Texans, they finally get a win. As I mentioned, they beat Jacksonville. They're up to 1-3-1. They've been battling this year. And then Detroit, they're on a bye. I think Detroit should take a bye the rest of the year. And how many times have I said that over the years? Detroit down to 1-4, and as I also mentioned, they lost to New England, got shut out in New England. Detroit, who scored 45 points the week before, who scores over 30, every week. We know their defense stinks, but their offense usually puts up some points. They got shut out. Shut out in New England, and New England was 1-3 coming into the game, playing their third-string quarterback. That's unacceptable football. That's unprofessional football, again, by the Detroit Lions. And how many times have I said that? And Dan Campbell after the game. Well, we finally hit rock bottom. You finally hit rock bottom? Wait a minute. You told me that last year when you were 3-13 that you hit rock bottom. Now you hit rock bottom again? I remember in 2002 when Marty M., the coach of the Lions, when they were 3-13, said they hit rock bottom. And then in 2006 with Rob Marinelli, when they were 3-13, they said they hit rock bottom. And then in 2009 with Jim Schwartz, when they were 2-14, they said they hit rock bottom. And then with Matt Patricia in 2019, when they were 3-12-1, they said they hit rock bottom. And oh, by the way, I forgot, Caldwell in 2014, when they were also 2-14, said they hit rock bottom. So how many times have the Lions hit rock bottom? They are the bottomless pit. They are an embarrassment, an inept franchise. I always make fun of teams like the Jets. Listen, the Jets have a Super Bowl. I always make fun of teams like Cleveland and Chicago. Chicago's got a Super Bowl. Cleveland's had some decent teams. Detroit seems like they are inept every single year forever. Forever. They never can get out of their own way. And again, I got Campbell blubbering, we hit rock bottom. You just told me that last year, Campbell. Listen, you could see Campbell. I don't like him. I know people love him because he's all emotional and stuff. It's the same deal. The Lions need to contact Sean Payton right now. Offer him half of Ford Field. Give him part ownership. Give him half of Michigan. Get him to Detroit because it's going to take a guy like that to turn this around. The Dan Campbells of the world are not going to do it. The Rob Marinellis of the world are not going to do it. The Jim Schwartzes of the world are not going to do it. The Matt Patricias aren't going to do it. Nor are the Jim Caldwells. You need a guy like Sean Payton to come in here and turn this thing around. It's going to take a guy like that. Offer him whatever he wants. Give him $20 million a year. Give him half of Ford Field. Give him part ownership. Give him half of Michigan for all I care. You're going to need someone like that to turn the Detroit Lions around. They are an embarrassing franchise. And Dan Campbell, I have no faith in you because you just told me last year they hit rock bottom, and now here 5 games into the season again, you said it again. So those 4 teams, including the Lions, who I'll call the Kittens from now on, are on a bye. Pick number 4. Let's go to the frozen tundra of Green Bay, where the Green Bay Packers are -7 against the New York Football Jets. Jets are up to 3-2, smacked Miami around. Zach Wilson played well. Team had 135 yards rushing. Jets, couple nice wins in a row. Then you got Green Bay. They're down to 3-2, lost to the Giants in London. They're up 17-3. They're up 20-10. They're up 20-13, and they could not stop the Giants one time. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. And the Giants had 1 million guys out on offense. 1 million of their receivers were out. Green Bay could not stop them. 5 straight times the Giants scored. 5 straight possessions. And the Giants weren't exactly lighting up the scoreboard this year. They were winning, but they weren't lighting up the scoreboard. And what is Green Bay doing down at the goal line at the end of the game? They have like a 3rd and 2. You have the option of running the ball there, but of course Rodgers wants to throw. Rodgers on 3rd down, hits the Giant lineman in the face mask with the ball. Then on the next play, 4th down, he gets the ball tipped. He doesn't even get either play off. And then Rodgers is blaming everybody else again but himself. Come on, Rodgers. You got to do better than that, and then you're blaming everybody? It's the coach's fault, it's the play calling, it's the receivers, they're running the wrong routes, they're young, they're this. Rodgers, you got no one to blame but yourself, okay? You took every dime from Green Bay, every dime you could, so you had to let the receiver walk to the Raiders, and now you're stuck with the young receivers, now you're going to complain. And you're the guy that likes to throw the ball down there at the goal line. If they would have ran it there, you would have been upset. You could have ran it there, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, whatever. No, you wanted to throw it, okay. You hit the lineman in the face with the ball, and then you get tipped on 4th down. Rodgers has been very disappointing in a big spot in recent years. Very disappointing, and I've been more than fair to Rodgers. He's a Hall of Famer. He has a Super Bowl. He throws a great ball. We all love Aaron Rodgers as a player. He has been disappointing in a big spot for years now, and he's had some bad losses, and this is another one. And it's not all on him. The defense was awful, but you got to do better at the goal line. You can't throw the ball on 3rd down right in the Giants lineman's helmet. I mean, come on, Rodgers, and you're blaming everybody else? Pipe down. As far as this game, I'm so annoyed with Green Bay. I'm moving this line to 13.5, and I'm taking the Jets just to keep it close. The Jets have shown some life the last 2 weeks. Zach Wilson looks like he's getting a little better. They got that running game going. And Green Bay just is not that impressive to me. They're not that impressive. Not saying they obviously can't win this game, but the days of Green Bay, waxing people 49-3 might be over. And Rodgers throwing for 480 yards might be over. I'll take the Jets plus 13.5 in a 2-team teaser. Jets! Jets, Jets, Jets. That's pick number 4. Pick number 5. Let's go down to the Big Easy. The Superdome in Louisiana. Who dat? Mardi Gras! Fat Tuesday. With the Cincinnati Bengals a -1.5 against the New Orleans Saints. Saints are up to 2-3, beat Seattle. Hill was unbelievable in this game. I mean, running, throwing, recovering fumbles. He was awesome. Kamara had a big game. Even Dalton played well. The Saint offense just woke up. Scored 1 million points on Seattle, so the Saints get a much-needed win. Cincinnati, they're down to 2-3, lost a tough game to Baltimore on Sunday Night Football. I am going to move this line to 7.5 and take the Saints. I always like taking the Saints in that Superdome. The crowd is amazing. They usually play a lot better in New Orleans. Cincinnati's still a little shaky to me. They're only 2-3. They still got offensive line problems. They're not as crisp as they were last year. And I think the Saints can hang around in the Dome. So I'm going to move it to 7.5 and take the Saints in a 2-team teaser. Who dat? Pick number 6. Let's go to the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Not too far from where I am here, with the Baltimore Ravens are -6 against the New York Football Giants. Ravens, as I mentioned, up to 3-2, beat Cincinnati in a tough division game. How about the Giants? How about the Giants? They're up to 4-1. They beat Green Bay. They come all the way back from 2 touchdowns down. Barkley looks like the Barkley we all expected when he came out of Penn State. He looks like an all-pro. He's healthy now. Jones is doing some nice things. He's staying away from the turnover. He's doing some things with his legs. How about the defense standing tall at the end? As I mentioned, the Giants had 1,000,000 guys out on offense. Still got it done. How about Daboll, the coach? He has done a tremendous job, and I didn't know what you were going to get from him. I said it was a roll of the dice at best with him. He has done a tremendous job. He has the team inspired, and they believe. And that's the most important thing. And you see, again, what good coaching can do. Daboll has done, through 5 games, an amazing job. Baltimore -6 in New York. I'm going to move it to 12 and take the Giants. The Giants have shown me that they can hang in these games. They deserve my respect this week. I'm moving it to 12 and a 2-team teaser and saying the Giants keep this game close. It's a tough game. It's a tough game. But the Giants have earned my respect that they're at least a good competitive team and they're home, and I'm getting 12 points in a 2-team teaser. So I like the Giants there. It's a game to keep an eye on as well. It's a game I'll be watching. That's pick number 6. Pick number 7. Let's go with the Steel City in Pittsburgh with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are -6.5 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers down to 1-4. Got bombed by Buffalo, just as I said. Pickett threw for a lot of yards, but didn't get in the end zone. Got into a couple fights with the Buffalo linemen. It's going to be a long year for Pittsburgh. A long year. They're going to have one of the worst records in football. It's time to rebuild. There's nothing wrong with that. They went to 3 Super Bowls with Roethlisberger. They won 2. They made the playoffs every year in Tomlin's regime. It's okay to rebuild. It's okay to have a horrible season. They're going to have it this year. They're going to get a high draft pick. Maybe they start to regroup now. We'll see how Pickett develops. It's going to be a long year, though. The Steelers fans are just going to have to suffer through it. Tampa Bay, they're up to 3-2. Hung on to beat Atlanta. They had a 21-0 lead in this game. Almost let it slip away. That call on Brady was absolutely awful. That was not roughing the passer, just like it was not roughing the passer on the Chiefs last night. They've gotten totally carried away with that rule. Totally carried away with it. They got to either review it or you got to tweak the rule or something. That was not roughing the passer on Atlanta. And they robbed Atlanta of having a chance to win this game. I'm not saying they would have. I'm not saying they would have got down the field, but they took the chance away from them. That's not good. The NFL can't like that. That's bad. You know, as a fan, I was sitting there going, I want Atlanta to get that ball back. You know, exciting football at the end. And it just, all the air went out of the game after that. And it was a terrible call. Can't happen. Got to change that. So Tampa, as I mentioned, hung on. Listen, Pittsburgh is not any good. TJ Watt's still out. He's going to be out even longer now because not only does he have the pectoral injury, he's got a knee injury. So it's going to be a long year for Pittsburgh. They have problems on the offensive line. They don't have many defensive playmakers. Tampa, you got to take Tampa here on general principle. I'm moving it to basically pick them and taking Tampa in a 2-team teaser. Tampa's the better football team. Have you liked anything you've seen from Pittsburgh the last few weeks? I mean, come on. They scored 3 points last week. They lost to the Jets. I mean, come on. There's not much to like with Pittsburgh. I like Tampa. That's pick number 7. Pick number 8. Let's go out to sunny Los Angeles where the LA Rams are minus, I think, 10 now. This spread keeps going up against the Carolina Panthers. Panthers down to 1-4. Got bombed by San Francisco. The coach was fired. It looks like Mayfield is hurt. I think Darnold is still hurt. Who knows who's quarterback in Carolina? They've been an absolute disaster this year. Coach was awful. His record was like, 11-28? I mean, that was awful. So they jettisoned him out. Then you got the Rams. They're down to 2-3. Lost to Dallas. I mean, the game started off with a Stafford fumble, and the Rams can't move the ball from here to there. They have huge offensive line problems, and I said this last week when I picked Dallas. They can't block anyone, the Rams. The receiving core, outside Cup, is, they got Beckham out, Jefferson's out, like all sorts of problems there. So the Rams got a ton of issues right now. a ton of issues. They look like a shadow of the team that won the Super Bowl last year. I know it's early. I don't like what I see at all from the Rams right now. Now, having said that, as much as I don't like the Rams, I like Carolina, even worse. So for all you super teaser, 14 teaser people, take the Rams. I think they'll have enough with their defense to shut down Carolina. Carolina could be down to their third string quarterback. And again, I don't love the Rams, and I don't love the way they're playing, but Carolina stinks. So I'll take the Rams in a super teaser, 14 teaser, whatever. That's pick number 8. Pick number 9. This is the Thursday Night Football game, which I do not pick because I'm protesting Thursday Night Football, but it's time. It's time for the first time this year. My bags are packed. My bags are packed. My suitcase is full. Hotel reservations have been made. I have tickets to the game. We're going to the Windy City in Chicago for the 1-4 Washington Commanders against the 2-3 Chicago Bears. Who is with me? You're all invited. Who's with me? Let's go! Commanders, Bears, Thursday Night Football. No need for Amazon Prime because we'll be right there live and in person on the 50-yard line at historic Soldier Field. Because I don't want to miss this one. This is a classic matchup. Washington and Chicago on Thursday Night Football. My bags are packed. And before the game, we're taking a tour of Wrigley Field. Oh, yes, we are. Hockey season is starting. We're going to a Chicago Blackhawks game at the United Center. You guys are invited. We're going to hang out on Michigan Avenue and do some shopping. We're going to go to the Shed Aquarium with special guest Jim McMahon. He'll be with us in the house. We're going to go to the Chicago Museum of Natural History. We're going to see all the old artifacts. We're going to see the ancient T-Rex, and right next to that, they're going to show you the last time when the Bears won a Super Bowl. Last time the Bears won a Super Bowl will be displayed right next to the T-Rex. We're going to the Chicago Botanical Gardens with special guest Mike Ditka. He'll be in the house with us. Come with me. We're going to the Sky Deck at the Sears Tower, otherwise known as the Willis Tower. Oh yeah, we're going all the way up to the top. We're going to get deep dish pizza with special guest William Refrigerator Perry. He'll be with us getting deep dish in Chicago. You guys know you're tempted to come on this road trip. You don't want to miss this one. Remember the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off? When he skips school and he's doing all these fun things around Chicago, well, he's got nothing on us. And oh, by the way, another special guest just signed. Matthew Broderick will be with us in Chicago. We will relive Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Well, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, baby, now. Twist and shout. Come on, come on, come on, Carson Wentz. Come on and work it all out. You know Justin Fields, you twist so fine. You throw for 70 yards a game, and you got no offensive line. Oh yeah, my bags are packed. Come with me. Come with me. Washington, Chicago, it's a pick'em game. It's a pick'em game. You don't want to miss it. Washington 1-4 off their fourth straight loss to Tennessee as Wentz can't get in at the goal line and throws yet another interception. Against Chicago, who's down to 2-3, lost to Minnesota and got the ball stripped away as they're trying to get down the field. You don't want to miss this game. My bags are packed. Who's with me? One last time, who is with me? Let's go! My bags are packed. Oh yeah! And there's no way in the world I'm picking this game. Washington, Chicago, pick 'em. I'll hand that one to you. That's pick number 9. Pick number 10. Let's go to the great Northwest, Seattle, Washington. As I have my Washington Huskies shirt on. With the Arizona Cardinals, a -2.5 against the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle down to 2-3, lost to New Orleans. I'll tell you, Geno Smith and the offense are doing some good things, but what happened to Seattle's defense? They are awful. They give up 100 points to everybody. Now the running back's gone for the year. I mean, Seattle's doing some things on offense. Geno Smith's actually playing decent football, but their defense is atrocious. And then you got Arizona. They're down to 2-3, lost to Philadelphia. They're always stumbling and bumbling. You cannot put it on an Arizona game and not see them down by double digits early in the game. Every time I put Arizona on, they're down in the first quarter 10-0, 14-0, 17-0. And then they try and rally back. They get the game to 2017 Arizona. They're driving deep in Philadelphia territory at less than 40 seconds to go. Murray on second down runs for 9 yards. Now, I thought he could have tried to get out of bounds. He didn't. He cut it upfield. Here's where it all went bad for Arizona. He slides a yard before the first down. He should have got the first down. He slid a yard before. So now it's 3rd and 1. The clock's running. They have no timeouts. Murray still has time to run a play here. Let's get a little short play, completion out of bounds, first down. No. What does Murray do? He gets up there and spikes the ball. Spikes the ball on 3rd down, so now on 4th down, you have to kick a field goal. But oh, by the way, the Arizona kicker is hurt, and they now have the backup kicker in there. The same backup kicker that I was bashing that was on the Chiefs early in the year and screwed up their game against the Colts. Oh no, he's on Arizona now. What happens? He misses a kick. Arizona loses. What a horrible way to lose a game. Arizona should have at least had a tie in that game. They could have won it if they handled it better. What is Murray doing there? You can't slide a yard before the first down, and you certainly can't spike the ball on 3rd down there. There was plenty of time to run another play. Oh, awful. And Arizona gets no points, loses the game, 2-3. I'm going to move it to 8.5 and take Seattle. Arizona's in a lot of wacky games, and they're all close. And Seattle, they're always good at home. They always play well at home. The crowd is amazing. The crowd alone and Seattle's offense should keep them in this game. And like I said, Arizona's in nothing but these crazy, wacky games all the time. And I don't think they're capable of blowing anybody out, especially without Hopkins, who will be back soon, a couple weeks. So I'm going to move the line to 8.5 and take Seattle because they're home and I can't trust Arizona. That's pick number 10. Pick number 11. This is the game of the week. This is must watch. If you're any sort of football fan, you have to watch this one. Let's go to Kansas City, Arrowhead Stadium. With the Buffalo Bills a -2 in Kansas City. Buffalo up to 4-1, as I mentioned, just smacked around Pittsburgh. Kansas City up to 4-1, held on and beat Las Vegas. They were down 17-0 in this game, came all the way back and won. I didn't like when Kansas City went for 2 either. Before the Raiders went for 2. I didn't like that either team went for 2. They're getting crazy with that. Getting crazy with the 2-point conversion. I mean, come on. Stop being so cute. Like I said, the roughing the passer call on Kansas City was just deplorable. So Kansas City comes all the way back. They're up to 4-1. So you got two 4-1 teams. Everyone thinks these are the two best teams in the AFC, if not in football. This game could determine who is hosting this game in the playoffs, because you expect these two teams to meet somewhere in the playoffs. Will it be in Buffalo? Will it be in Kansas City? This game could determine that. Buffalo's a 2-point favorite on the road. Listen, I'm going to move it to 8 and take Kansas City. I get 8 points in a 2-team teaser in Kansas City at home. I mean, I love Buffalo. I think Buffalo's a tremendous team. They could be the best team in football when all's said and done. But if I'm getting 8 points at home with the Chiefs in a game like this, I have to go that way. And they're never out of a game. I don't care what the score is. With Mahomes and Kelsey, by the way, was anyone covering Kelsey last night? 4 touchdowns. He's open all over the field. They're never out of a game, and they're so well coached. With Reed and Spags on the defense, they're never out of a game. So I'll take the Chiefs plus 8 in a 2-team teaser. A must-watch game. Could be the game of the year. That's pick number 11. Pick number 12. This is another spectacular game. This is the Sunday night football game. Let's go to Philadelphia, where the Eagles continue to fly. Eagles fly. Where Philadelphia is -6 against Dallas. Philadelphia 5-0. They're the only undefeated team in the league. Held on and beat Arizona, as I just mentioned. Had a big lead in this game, almost let it slip away, but they get the road win. And then you got the Dallas Cowboys. They go into Los Angeles, pretty much shut down the Rams. Cowboys are up to 4-1. Cooper Rush, 4-0 as a starter this year, 5-0 total. Defense is unbelievable. Dan Quinn's doing a great job with that defense. Parsons is an unbelievable player. Pollard had the big run. You know they got that good stable of receivers, Dallas. Cooper Rush is staying away from the big turnover. He's making the plays when he has to. But the defense is really the story for Dallas now. They get that pass rush going, they really disrupt these offenses. I mean, the Rams couldn't do anything. The Rams had like 2 big plays the whole game and did nothing else. So Philly's at home, -6 against Dallas in another tremendous game. Another tremendous game. This is the game of the week on the NFC side. To me, this spread's too high. I'm going to move it to 12, and I'll take Dallas. I don't think Dak Prescott is going to play, but still, Cooper Rush has shown me enough, and the defense has shown me enough that I think they're going to be in this game. So I will move it to 12 and take Dallas here in another must-watch spectacular game. Could go either way. I mean, it's just a tremendous football game. A great division game on Sunday Night Football. A must-watch. So you can watch Chiefs-Buffalo early in the day, and then you come back with Philly-Dallas at night. That's a great combo. Dallas, pick number 12, plus 12 in a 2-team teaser. How about them Cowboys? Pick number 13, this is the Monday Night Football game. Let's go back out to Los Angeles where the LA Chargers are -5.5 against the Denver Broncos. Denver down to 2-3, lost to Indianapolis. Wilson did not play well at all, had a couple of turnovers, hurt his shoulder. He will play this week, but Denver again stumbling, bumbling on offense. Chargers, they're up to 3-2, held on and beat Cleveland. They scored late. Again, Herbert to Eckler is a great combination, continues to be a big combination this year, those two. This is another one. I mean, this is another game that, another one of these division games. Both teams have been spotty, choppy. You just don't know what you're going to get from either team. Both teams got a lot of injuries. They're all banged up. So I'm going to move it to 11.5 and take Denver reluctantly because I don't love them. But the Chargers have injury problems of their own. You see the games the Chargers are in. They were in a dogfight with Cleveland. This game should be close. This game should be close. So if I can get Denver with 11.5 in a division game, I got to go that way. I have to think at some point Russell Wilson is going to play better than he has. So I'll go Denver plus 11.5 on Monday Night Football. That is pick number 13. By the way, one last thing on the Chargers. They're speaking of getting cute. Teams going for it on 4th down are also getting cute. The Chargers went for it on 4th down late in the game and didn't get it. And Cleveland had a chance to win the game with a field goal and missed it. So the Chargers got away with one there. Teams are getting cute with the 2-point conversion and going for it on 4th down all over the field. Let's calm down. So that's pick number 13. Pick number 14. Let's go to Hotlanta. With the San Francisco 49ers are -6 against the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons, as I mentioned, down to 2-3, lost to Tampa Bay. Got robbed of getting the ball back on that horrific roughing the passer on Brady. That was just a horrific call. Atlanta's been battling. They're like the Texans. They're not that good, but they've been battling. They've been scrapping. They've been fighting. San Francisco, they're up to 3-2. Just beat up Carolina. San Francisco's got a really good defense. Got a really good defense. So that should keep them in most games. Listen, I'm going to move this line to pick them and take the 49ers. I mean, I'm tempted to move it to 12 and take Atlanta, but the Niner defense to me is going to shut down the Falcons. I like the Niners defense. I really do. I like their defense. I think they'll shut down Atlanta and they'll get the W. I think the Niners are the better football team. They're the more complete football team. So I'm going to go Niners, pick them here in a two-team teaser. Tempted to take Atlanta the other way. But like I said with a teaser, sometimes you can win both ways. Maybe falls right in between both ways. But I'll take the Niners to win the football game. That's pick number 14. And that is it. That was the last pick. I keep forgetting there are 4 teams on a bye this week. So only 14 games. That was the final pick. There you go. You're all caught up. You're all set. Like I said, spectacular week last week, 13-3. 38-10 the last 3 weeks, and 58-23 overall. Show some love. I mean, that's picking. That's picking. So let's keep it going. Let's make some more money this week. Thanks as always for the support. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. Pick a lot of winners. Make a lot of money. I'll talk to you guys next Tuesday. Enjoy the games. Got a couple of good ones. Kansas City, Buffalo, Dallas, Philly. I'll talk to you next week. Take care.